Hello and welcome to the second Nightmare episode for Blood on the Streets, V5 campaign set 2 years after the fall of London. This second episode takes place not on the same night as episode 4, Night at the Museum.
And this is totally being recorded just after episode 4. And this is totally the first version of the episode.
It's being recorded for the first time. We are not re-recording this in any way.
This is definitely the first version of this part.
Yeah. Yep. Any accusations to the contrary are purely lies and slander and something.
I mean, we could probably just disclose it's like, yeah, the original just kind of didn't work.
Yeah, someone apparently doesn't know how to OBS.
Also, OBS decided to randomly mute me for the entire video, so there's that. Let's hope it doesn't do that again.
I feel like someone just doesn't know how to OBS.
Look, I tried to use OBS and OBS just doesn't like me, so that's why I make you do it.
So yeah, this slots in between episode 4 and episode 5.
Yeah, basically it is the same night. So we open up on a cold night. The breeze is blowing litter down the street. The clouds are passing by and the stars shining in the night sky overhead as you all leave the museum. Lucia and Lauren, I believe you wanted to have a conversation.
Yep.
I believe Lucy had run up to Lauren, sort of leaving the safety and comfort of her lovely
psycho girlfriend.
Yes. Her lovely La Sombra girlfriend.
Same thing.
Behind and
yeah.
And sort of pulling Lauren a little bit away from Timothy, and she leans in and says, "What do you mean you were the only reasonable one?"
I mean,
I feel like I was fairly reasonable. I didn't even say much.
But the thing is, though, you didn't try and stop her. Like there's
I can stop her. Other than putting my body in between her and
she
that
listens
monster.
to you. She doesn't listen to anyone else.
I did put my body between the two of them when it came down to that. But if I interject with every bit of banter,
it's not.
No, that's impossible.
It's not the banter. It's you saw how they treated him. Like even though he's not on our side, we shouldn't be treating them like they're worth they're worth less than nothing.
What do you mean? What are we talking about?
You saw how Jean was, and you saw how Timothy gave in. They weren't just doing this to prove a point. They were enjoying this. I don't know exactly what
I'm
it is
not a
Jean...
fan of gaining enemies, and I feel like they both got one, but if he's that weak, it doesn't matter.
It's not even about him. It's about keeping hold of what we've lost. I mean, you also saw what Gwenthian's like. She's so much further down the rabbit hole than we are. Do you really want to become something like her?
If that means I get to live 2,000 years,
Is it worth it though? If you basically just become just a beast. She was
I don't know. She sounded fairly
she was
reasonable.
conscious, but she was quite a lot closer to just
I mean,
beast
she
taking
didn't
over.
just attack us for blood or anything like that. Given how old she is, she could have done a lot to us. She didn't. I feel she's
She
still
chose
very
not to.
reasonable.
Maybe there was still something in her that decided that she didn't have to.
Does that make a difference? You don't know what
Yes.
goes through my brain or what goes through Timothy's brain or anyone else's. Why should their internal monologue, which you're assuming, matter?
Because that's
You can't prove
how
that
we
you thought
retain
what
who
you
we
think.
are. It's I don't know what Jean's like what she does to keep herself human.
That
She does that. She physically dominates other people as a reminder that she's still human.
she was very physically dominating when alive.
I mean, you've seen what I've been doing to try and stay human. They don't make any
Wouldn't recommend it.
don't really make any
Fire
attempt
is
at hiding it.
not
It's
my preference.
trust me, it's not something I like doing. Well, I do, but not specifically going into the fires part. Like every time I go in, even though I'm in full gear, it sets my heart racing if it could still beat. It's that kind of intense fear. But I still do it because other people need me. And it's not about me, it's about them.
And I help Joy with his club security to help a friend, to make sure that, no one does anything untoward. That's helping other people.
It has to be more than just helping someone. Like not well to keep our current ties to humanity, our current ties to being human. That's enough. But to try and even regain some of the stuff that we've already lost in our embrace, it requires more. You need to actually put yourself put yourself after others' needs. You have to try and figure out a way.
Why?
Because
Why do you think you've lost something?
we have.
Have we?
We all have.
I mean, our heartbeat, I guess.
I'm not even
that.
talking about the heartbeat. I'm like, do you still love Jean?
Yeah.
Or do you only think that you still love her? Is it like a pale echo?
Does it matter?
Would you want it to be more than a pale echo? Would you want it to be something that you actually feel instead of something you just remember feeling?
I mean, I feel it. Might not be quite the same. But back then it was one-sided. So, feels better.
I guess that's where we'll differ. I don't see
Do you
what
not
we are and what
feel anything for Tim?
I do. But I also don't like you've seen who we work for. You've seen the stuff we do. Do you want to be like any of our bosses?
Your boss or mine?
We have the same boss, Lucia.
Sure. If you want to think of it that way.
But would you want to not just take their role? Would you want to be like them?
Oh, I have no interest in being like the queen.
You've seen how
Honestly,
she acts.
if she burns and dies, I don't really care.
Lauren's just gonna look kind of like a
She's
little
not
bit
the
kind of.
Camarilla.
She's a little just like the
She's just a prince. Not a good one either.
prince is dead. Long live the prince.
The prince is already dead.
You know what I mean.
Lauren, she's just a prince. There's
That's
many like her.
That's
She's not unique.
that's not. Well, that's even worse then. If she were to somehow be removed, another prince,
Another one will step in, and they'll
and she'll be
just the
just, and
same.
she will be just like Anne. They're all the same.
Yes.
They're all
Welcome to life.
Yeah.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Have you not noticed
And
that
they
our
don't even
bosses
have
are a
that.
bunch of selfish wankers? They don't care about us.
Why would they? Why would you care about anyone?
I care about everyone who is under my command.
That's
I
your
still
choice.
see them when I close my eyes.
That's interesting.
The ones I saved. The ones I couldn't save. And the ones who went on to save others after I was gone.
I think that's a distinction of what we do. You're near them. You experience what they go through, even for a moment. At most, if I'm even around, I am invisible. Literally.
Were you used to being ignored in life?
I'm used to getting everything I want. Except for certain things.
Like attention?
Oh, I had plenty of attention.
Not the kind
from
you
whom I wanted
it
it.
would appear. Because, well, there's some stereotypes amongst not just no, I'm not meaning Malkavians, I'm meaning those who
I'm very
wish
sane for my
pa-
clan.
I'm not saying you're not. I'm saying about the powers you display. The one the obfuscation, it is drawn to those who were
Keeps me
used
safe.
to not being seen.
Let's just say I wanted to not be seen. Because I was. Because if I went anywhere, I needed at least 5 people to be around me.
I mean, yeah, that sounds similar.
And then
Always
when
in
I
uniform.
got
Always having to
home,
send out announcements of where you are, when you're going to arrive, anything that happens en route.
I'm not talking about the police.
I wasn't in the
That
police.
was actually quite freeing.
How did your family take it?
They haven't.
So what keeps you, well, if you want to tell me, what keeps you grounded?
Now don't laugh. I know I'm already laughing, but don't. Love?
Love for Jean.
Yes. Part.
Yeah. Guess that's part of it for me as well. But do you ever get the feeling that you made the wrong choice?
No. Still haven't regretted.
I'm beginning to suspect that it was a devil's bargain.
Oh, it always was. That was very clear.
Oh, I'm not meaning from our sires. I'm meaning that we've made a devil's bargain and the devil has yet to collect.
I feel like I'm a couple steps behind. Who are we talking about?
Well, that's consider it an insight into my mind and how I think. But you asked me earlier why I try and get better or get more grounded, get more involved.
I'm about as evil as I was when I was mortal.
Yeah, no, but the reason I do it is because we might have this new power. We might have this ability over other people. But what is that power without a connection to the people around you?
Power.
What is the point of power if it's just power? Like it's that you're basically just saying you'd be happy being a light bulb.
I didn't choose this for the power. It was a bonus. I chose this for the immortality.
Were you dying before you
No.
were embraced?
No.
Hmm. That was just a guess based on what you'd said.
I was thinking a couple 60, 70 years ahead. Plus, if I want to stay alive, better in my prime than when I'm a 80-year-old. Ugh.
I suppose each of us has our own ways of staying who we are. You have yours, Jean has hers, and you have seen some of mine.
Would you want, before you were given it, would you actually choose without any of the downsides, without, the beast?
Without knowing about this beforehand?
Would you choose just immortality? Nothing else. No other downside, no other merit, no power, no lack of control. Just living forever. Would you?
There's a time when I would have said yes.
And now?
No. Nothing
The
is
answer
worth that
hasn't
price.
changed.
Perhaps we can continue this again sometime. You seem, well, more sure of yourself than I am.
I know what I want.
And you're also fantastically good at what you do.
And I know what I'm good at.
Yep.
And I know, at the end of the day, There are very few things I can't have if I'm willing to dirty my hands.
Or jeans.
I prefer mine first.
But this doesn't hurt that your partner is capable of punching through a wall.
Ideally, she wouldn't have to.
Lucia, she doesn't need an excuse. She probably likes it if you ask her, but she doesn't need you to ask her. She'll just do it anyway.
I know. But just like it's in her nature to protect me, it's in mine to do the same. Just I can't. In the same way. So I come up with my ways.
You know, I think in that case, I actually envy the pair of you.
I feel like you and Tim can protect each other. You're both better fighters than I.
He did bring me back in the museum when it looked like everyone was out to get me.
So did Jean. I feel like some of the words there were...
I wonder if we'll ever get to this point as a coterie where we might be able to actually show that to one another instead of her constantly trying to topple me off my own pedestal, which admittedly I have built for myself. And
maybe don't put yourself in a pedestal, then they can't topple you.
I don't think that's the problem. I think that she would see me as on top of a pedestal whether I was on one or not. You saw how she was squaring up to Gwenthean as well. So, what do we do now?
That's a good question. I have a dog robot thing to work on. So I'm probably going back to our place and putting the rest of the night into it.
That sounds good. Well, my feelings haven't changed. I think I still need to be around people for a little bit.
See, I never liked people. They always wanted something from me.
Yeah, but at least being one part of the emergency services, the stuff that people want is to not die, and we do our best to provide that.
I was never around that. If anything, I may have called you guys once or twice. Mostly the police.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what I used to do, right? Like it's not exactly a secret if you know where to look and know who to ask. But that's the thing, is if I got it.
Did I choose to look into all of your backgrounds?
I assumed you already had.
Let's pretend I didn't.
How much of my background do you know? Look, I already know that you know, so there's no point trying to hide it. I don't mind that you looked into us. I was kind of expecting that somebody would. It's just good intelligence after all. Need to know what your comrades are what are like. Need to know what makes them tick.
Need to know whether you should take them on a trip to Northern Europe or not.
Yeah, about that.
Norway was beautiful.
How come we didn't meet the grade?
We were being followed by the police, or antigen, or SI.
I think they were the same at that point. The ones chasing us that night certainly were. I don't think the regular police would have followed us with quite so much fervor.
They had a helicopter. We were rushing between buildings, and I couldn't trust how much was open to, public channels or not. So I gave you a warning and then fled to the nearest private airport. Couldn't risk the private airport being swarmed. It already was. Honestly, the fact we even got out was, a handsome tip for my pilot.
Did he survive?
Oh yeah, he's fine.
Good. Maybe we can do this again sometime, Lucia. So
Is
you
the
definitely
pilot is the pilot fine?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to check.
No, I mean, he was paid enough to not care. Even if he gave me lip.
Why? Can I just ask you one last thing before I head off? I'm supposed to be on shift anyway in about half an hour.
Ask away.
Are you happy?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I be?
At that one, Lauren is just kind of like blank faced for several minutes and doesn't even say goodbye. She just sort of slowly turns and walks off.
I think she starts poking you like, Lauren?
Are you following her as she does this?
Yeah. Lauren. She's like that really annoying younger sister. Like, Lauren.
I got out of my current business because I wasn't happy in it. And it seems the longer I go on, the less immortality seems to be appealing.
She gives you a hug and whispers, I feel like me and my and where I've put my resources, I've probably killed way more people than you ever did, or your subordinates. Not that it's a contest.
So hard not to.
So don't mind yourself too hard. I know you. I can see you regret it. I don't. That's fine. We can defer on that.
I suppose it's how much you can compartmentalize. It's
I
where
feel
they're
like
necessary, where they
you
just in the way.
I feel like you're just a better person from the get-go. And I can recognize that. And I know I don't care about it. Just see that as the difference. I have no problems killing someone if they're in my way. I have no problem making their family completely destitute. You do, and that's good.
We each have our ways of staying human.
And we each have our definition for human. Yours and mine just are different. Maybe ask that of Tim, what he means with human. Because surprisingly, I think everyone's is different. And you'll just suffer if you keep applying your own to theirs. And you're too cute to suffer. She gives you a peck on the cheek.
that actually does catch her off guard. It's like, what?
She sort of runs around behind you and just disappears.
She's just like, oh, hang on one second. I need to actually plug in my laptop, so I'll turn my video off for a second.
And as the wait for Sarah to come back. Dun dun dun.
I actually wanted to do something just Timothy on his own.
I can do that.
I don't know. I wanted to do one last thing with Lauren and
There we go.
Lucia.
Yeah,
quickly.
sorry, I just had to plug in my laptop because I got like the flash up of like 10% battery.
Oh. As that conversation comes to a close, Lucia and Lauren, you see, there's been a few cars going by now and then. You see nothing particularly unusual, but then there's a black SUV or a dark SUV with black tinted windows that drives by a little slower than the other cars do, but doesn't.
I mean, Lauren's just gotten into the habit of just a blush of life whenever she's in public.
Yeah. But it
And
doesn't
Lucia
stop
just
or
went
anything.
invisible.
Yeah,
Ghost in the machine also
fine.
applies.
It's fine. It's just a thing you see as the conversation ends.
Funnily enough, actually, I can suspect that Lucy is nearby. She doesn't know exactly, but she's still behind her, like just right behind her. So Lauren will actually just quietly, as if kind of just sort of speaking to herself, will just read out the registration plate of the SUV as it went past.
You get a text saying, "Got it."
Yeah, she's like, with that, she is actually gonna go to work.
Okay, and the camera fades to black as the two coterie mates part ways. The SUV pulls off into the distance. And we fade back in on another familiar face. As Timothy Lockhart makes his way along the street, having gone for a walk to clear his head. Timothy, what are you doing right now?
So as the camera looks at Timothy, you see him walking towards the gate of a cemetery. And I personally don't know of any cemeteries in London, so just fill in the blanks.
There's several.
Yeah, so bog standard cemetery in London. And he walks over to 3 gravestones, one of which has his own name. Another reads Tabitha Lockhart, and another reads Jackson Lockhart.
As we look upon the gravestones, what condition are they in? Well, are they overgrown? Are they well cared for?
They are pristine.
What about, are any gifts left for them? Flowers, anything?
There are recent flowers on the grave of Jackson. They are a little wilted. They look like they've been there for about a week. And Timothy just looks at that, and he looks around to make sure there's nobody around. I failed you. I should have been there when you grew up. I should have been there to help you tie your first tie, to ride your bike, to give you advice on girls, or maybe boys, or who knows, maybe both. I should have been there when you went to high school, I should have been there to help you take over the company. I should have saved you. But I was a coward. A coward who watched his son get murdered. A coward who threw away everything he had because he didn't want to die. A coward who escaped lung cancer by dying and coming back. And the camera pans down, and you see he's holding a sledgehammer, and he walks over to his gravestone and hits it.
I just want to check something. Before you do that, where's your character sheet? There's your character sheet. Let's just take a look. Never mind. Yep, you hear as you go to swing, roll a wits awareness.
Three successes.
You, for just a brief moment, you swear that you see your son standing next to his grave, looking at you. A look of sadness on his face. And you see him mouth something, but you can't hear the words. Roll a wits insight, see if you can understand what he says.
Would it not be intelligence?
Yeah, intelligence, insight. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, because intelligence would be to actually like try and
Yeah.
lip read.
Sorry, yeah. Intelligence, insight.
You know what? I'm going to rouse for this.
Get hungry, get hungry, get hungry. Yay, you go hungry.
Well.
Shitlord.
Yeah.
4 successes.
That's pretty good.
He's saying, I love you.
And the hammer stops right before it hits this gravestone. I love you too.
Aww.
And Jackson Lockhart smiles and fades away. I made one of my players cry. Achievement unlocked.
Holy
Did you
shit.
do that just because I wanted that as my own achievement? God damn it!
Holy shit.
Just coming in here stealing your thunder.
I know, right? How dirty.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like that's such a dirty thing. Like I made myself cry with my own RP, but just that's just
I
a
didn't
low
notice
blow.
that. I noticed earlier. I was thinking, wait, is she actually upset? I was, oh, she's actually upset. Damn.
Oh no! If I got a similar scene, I probably would be because I can definitely fake cry, which may turn into real cry.
Yeah, that's the thing with me is like I can fake cry, but it's a very, very, very slippery. Well, funnily enough, it's a very slippery slope.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same with me. It's the same with me. I can let myself feel that sadness, but it comes on quickly. It's like
Okay, I'm gonna be real.
Anyway.
Normally I can't fake cry. The only reason why I did that scene is because that whole conversation between Lauren and Lucia got me feeling some sort of way.
I mean, that was the
Fair
intention.
enough.
It's supposed to be like an actual moment of vulnerability.
Yeah. However, we've now ruined that moment of vulnerability and emotion by fucking around and being idiots afterwards. So let's.
No, see that this is fine because it's like you good, Gerbil, you good.
Yeah, you good?
I am
Continue?
good. I am good.
Yeah, good because we're going to continue. So, what do you?
Oh, by the
still
way. No, he drops the hammer and is full on ugly weeping right now.
Okay.
Is he crying blood or is it like the dry sobs? It's just like loud, but there's no tears.
It is ugly sobbing.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna be mean and like you're crying and there's blood dripping onto the soil of your own grave as you cry uncontrollably, and
The camera pans out, hearing the wails of a broken man.
I was gonna have to just you feel a hand on your shoulder, like pat your shoulder gently. You turn your head and there's the caretaker of the cemetery walking by you, and he's like, just you see him bend down, pick up some a little branch from a tree and a little twig from a tree rather, and he just carries on. And that's I think where we end the scene. Unless there's anything else.
Nope.
Okay.
Holy shit! That was so much better than the original. Thank you.
Hey, look. I mean, you had your character in a cemetery. Like, well, I'm obviously going to use this. That's. I was looking to see if you had Sense the Unseen. Then I figured, fuck it. So
if
ghosts can choose to be visible, so
yeah.
If ghosts will themselves hard enough, they can manifest in the real world.
It's also why there's specifically that oblivion power, which is you can see ghosts that are not actively trying to hide, but also not actively trying to be visible either.
Yeah. So as you are there weeping over an empty grave, over your own empty grave, the camera starts to pull away, and we see a dark SUV with black tinted windows drive past the entrance to the cemetery. We see the license plate, and it's the one Lauren read out earlier. And the camera fades to black. Then it fades back in on Lauren Lauren, I assume. You are...
Yeah, I was at work.
Yeah, you are at the scene of an accident. A car crash, I do believe.
Yep.
On the motorway. There are people there's a lot of pandemonium, a lot of controlled chaos as people are frantically trying to get into cars to pull people out.
I would imagine that even though they've probably not fully shut down the motorway just because it's the M25 and it's always fucking busy. I imagine there's a lot of rubbernecking going on from the lane that's still open if everyone's just trying to get a look as to what's happening.
Yeah, as you pull out, as you work away at a car, getting the door off and getting somebody out, you see. Please roll a wits awareness.
Sure, wits awareness. Any modifiers, penalties, whatever?
Nope.
Sure.
If you have fancy unseen, okay.
I'm gonna willpower that one.
Lol.
Because Jesus Christ.
Bestial crit. Well, it's not now, but still.
4 successes. Holy shit, that's a good reroll.
Yeah, that is a good reroll. Damn.
Also, that's not a bestial crit because I didn't crit with it.
I know. It would have been funny though.
You literally rolled 6, 7, 8.
Lol.
Yeah.
It takes a moment because your brain doesn't register it properly. Or rather, you see it, but you don't truly register it. You do a double take. There's a girl, a young girl in what looks like a school outfit, sat in the back seat of the car, and she is sobbing into her hands.
Because I do have Sensi Unseen, and I think I'm actually on. No, I'm only on Auspex 1 at the moment, not Auspex 2. Would I be able to tell that she's from the other side?
She is transparent, so yes.
Okay.
She's shimmering in and out of view, like almost like she's not entirely there anymore. There's like a part of her is missing.
Okay, priority list. Sort out the guy who might be bleeding out.
Yeah.
Then come back to comfort the ghost.
Yeah. She the ghost.
She will actually say just beforehand. Presumably the ghost can hear me. She's like, I'll be with you in a second. I just need to make sure the driver's okay.
The ghost stops and looks at you, and she says something before seeming to explode, not in fire this time, but just sort of like a puff of
like a sort of like a bubble popping.
Yeah, like a bubble popping up. Please roll an intelligence insight to see if you can read her lips.
You know what? I'm gonna rouse for this one, just because I don't actually rouse that often. I do not get hungry, so that's what. Actually, what is the rules for rousing again?
You get 2 extra dice.
Okay. Oh, come on.
Oh, it's so sad.
You know,
Willpower.
Yeah. There's a reason I have 6 willpower.
Lol.
I can only reroll 2 of those though.
Yep.
2 successes.
I'll allow it because
I would actually be looking at her as she's doing this. It's not I wouldn't just be like ignoring her for this part.
Yeah, she said it's something like, have you seen my mummy? Or have you seen Mama? And that she just pops. Hey, look. If we were doing real horror, I could go so much creepier with a ghost girl.
That's
Like-
no, that's not. This is specifically the words you used.
Oh, have you seen Mama?
Yeah.
Why?
The empty child.
Not seen that.
Okay.
But it's good to know I creeped you out because, lol.
Yeah, no, that one just kind of cuts deep. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And
So, yeah, she
Really-
just kind of blinks for a couple of moments. Like, yeah, okay, that did actually just happen.
Hmm.
Shit,
Mhm.
there's a guy with a collapsed lung. I need to get him out of here.
Yeah.
Like
And
she
so you
remembers, like,
hand
what was I
hand it
doing
off to
again?
the-
It's like, what was I
yeah.
doing again? Oh yeah, fire and rescue my job.
Yeah, and somebody shouts at you. It's like, are you done over there? We've got. We need your help over here, and you know you,
Oh,
you go.
in her rush to get the driver out, she like bangs her head on like just the door frame. It's like, son of a coming.
Comedy of errors.
I mean, it makes sense. She's just had a shock and then remembered what she was supposed to be doing, and then in her haste, just kind of wasn't paying attention.
There's ghosts everywhere tonight.
What is this? A void engineer campaign?
So you get the person over to the paramedics. They start singing to him, and you go and help with the second car. And the camera pulls back, and we just watch this all take place.
Yeah, she will actually mention. Is there any like CCTV footage of the car that the girl was in before the accident?
Would there be CCTV on a motorway?
Well, there's speed cameras, and there's usually like especially
yeah.
especially the M25, just because it's so busy. And because accidents happen on it a lot, they actually do have a fairly sturdy CCTV system, so they can actually know which junction is at.
The question is, are any of them working?
You asked about the CCTV, and you ask a police officer there about CCTV, and they're like, yeah, we've got an officer seeing about getting it sent over to our department. It's gonna be a while though. And the officer is busy, so they go back to what they're doing. They don't.
Yeah, she's not like saying it as like this has to happen now. It's more just like it might be useful to try and figure out the cause of the accident.
Yeah.
Maybe like something happened that could be seen on CCTV.
And is there anything else that happens?
No. She'll go back, actually change places for a bit, so I'm going to turn my camera off.
Okay. That is the perfect freeze frame right there. Yeah, couldn't be a better face. You froze, and the face you were pulling was just perfect.
I was saying I'm gonna have to relocate to a different room, so I'm gonna turn my camera off for a bit until I get back.
Okay. We're into BRB then, I guess. Well, actually no. I suppose. What's Timothy doing as he leaves the cemetery? I assume having wiped his face clean.
Yeah. He just stands there for a good long while.
Mm.
And he puts his hand on the gravestone of Jackson. And I think he's felt okay. He feels so much like he has a sense of peace like catharsis, like he's finally put something to bed.
As you put your hand on the gravestone, you feel the cold stone beneath your hand, and then you feel patches of your fingers get colder, like someone with a very cold hand has put their hand on yours.
He looks up.
There's no one there.
I'm gonna be better. He just says to the open air in front of him.
Yeah. There's no reply.
And he turns around and walks out of the cemetery, a little reluctantly, actually.
Yeah. As you turn around and leave, as you don't look back, shimmering into view, we see a woman and an older woman appear by Timothy's wife's gravestone, and a younger man appear by Timothy's son's gravestone. But they only appear for a moment before fading back into nothing. And the camera pulls away and fades to black again. As we fade back into Lauren. Lauren, what are you doing?
Wait, before
Sorry.
Lauren gets a text from Tim and goes, do you feel like dancing?
She'll be. No, actually, she would just have her phone on her. She's just technically not supposed to have it on her, but it's kind of like a. Funnily enough, with the emergency services, if there's an emergency that happens, you kind of need to know about it.
I was gonna say Lauren just responds with the song "I Don't Feel Like Dancing."
No, she sends the gun emoji and she sends the rose emoji.
And Timothy looks at this, squints at it for a second, and it takes a full 5 seconds for him to understand what she means. And then goes, right. I really need to get Lucia to teach me emojis.
No. I like the idea that Timothy's like, Timothy's like, oh, is that the band Guns N' Roses?
Yes,
that's probably the first thing he thinks of.
That's actually that is the message she's sending. It's not like I'm going to shoot Joey. It's like, no, it's just Guns N' Roses, because it's like that's her shorthand for it's like, yes, I want to go dancing.
And so the camera fades to black on that and fades back in on Timothy and Lauren meeting at a club.
She's currently just in like a white vest and some sort of cargo trousers. She's basically she's still just wearing what she was wearing under her firefighting gear.
Yeah.
She has at least made the effort of like tying her hair back, so it's like some effort has been made rather than just I came straight from work.
It's actually really weird for you to see. Unlike the normal suits that Timothy habitually wears, he is just in a white undershirt.
Oh no! It's because he's so far out of time and just like so unaware of the sort of modern trends. Is he like wearing what was fashionable like 20 years ago?
He is wearing what was he is not completely fashion deaf.
Okay.
He is wearing a white dress shirt with the first few buttons unbuttoned. Basically, he watched a movie once, and he is mimicking a character from that movie because he doesn't understand modern dress.
Yeah. How much
He's-
cologne is he wearing? Just all of it?
Actually, he
Just drank a bottle.
he actually takes the advice of spritz. He goes spritz and spritz.
Yeah, that's your kind of good form anyway. And then you usually tend to do like a third one, which is basically just for your clothes rather than for your skin.
So he actually knows how not to be a walking stink bomb. So he is wearing a pleasantly mild floral cologne.
Timothy, for some reason, thinks it's going to be a 90s theme night and turns up in dungarees and jelly shoes.
Oh hell no! He is wearing a white dress shirt, black slacks, and nice-ish shoes you can dance in. And no, he did not empty an entire can of Axe body spray on himself. He's classier than that. Not by much, but classier.
I mean,
Yeah,
I was going to say that because Lauren did come straight from work and she doesn't normally keep her dancing stuff with her in her locker at the fire station, she's just wearing her stuff from work and then sort of brushed her hair, tied it back with she's kind of pleated it.
Yeah.
And she is also wearing a lot of deodorant because
Yep.
you also notice she seems to have made an effort to make her vest look sweaty. As if, because obviously if she was actually a human doing the strenuous activity of pulling people out of wrecked vehicles for several hours in full firefighting, like fire resistant jackets and everything, she would normally be sweaty. So she's actually made it look very deliberately slightly sweaty to sort of keep up the appearances.
Because I think it would be interesting, I would like Lauren to roll intelligence insight on or wits awareness, whichever is better, on Timothy.
This is where Lauren and Timothy both go, I saw a ghost.
I'd say wits. I'd probably say wits awareness, just because we are pretty good at reading each other after 2 years.
Yeah.
I think we said they've been together for 8. I think we agreed on, or however long.
Right, yeah. 8 or 7. Honestly, I'm gonna just have it that Timothy is the one who remembers the anniversary. Lauren doesn't.
Like, it's a day.
Yeah.
No. Or rather, no. She remembers the anniversary, but she can't remember which year.
Lol.
So she's always like a year out in terms of if anyone ever asks them how long you've been together. If it's been 8 years, she'll either say 7 or 9. She never gets it right the first try.
And you see, you know that look on people's faces when they've just finished having a really good cry and they feel better afterwards?
Yeah, like the slightly puffy, slightly red eyes, but also just looking like a weight's been lifted.
Yeah, like it's more of a feeling than an actual look, but you have that feeling coming off him.
Mm-hmm. Are you okay?
I got rid of some baggage.
We can talk. We can talk inside where it's noisy and music.
There's some kind
and
of awful techno playing.
he puts his arm around you,
What
around
decade
your
are you in, Doozer?
I don't know. I genuinely don't go to clubs. I have no idea what they play there. Music.
Oh, come on. He would go to a club where they play music he knows Lauren likes. So
Oh, yeah, no.
now,
It's
Hell,
so
Yeah, it's in
Like,
so
80s.
right now,
like
AC.
Mhm.
Let me finish. AC/DC's Thunderstruck is currently playing.
Fair
Nice.
enough.
Yeah, so funnily enough, this is something that a lot of clubs actually do now, is they'll do specifically 80s nights because nostalgia.
True.
So this is actually one of those cases where she doesn't even have to try hard to just like the stuff from when she was still
Yeah.
human, because it's still being played.
Yeah.
And he just puts his arm around your shoulders and goes, "That's not a conversation for tonight."
I think it might be. And actually, she'll say it quietly, but it's like still heading towards the actual main club end, like main body of the club. It's just like,
I have the feeling she's doing that purposefully leaning your arm back, holding your partner's hand thing.
yeah.
Okay.
She specifically she actually even specifically leans back and just says, "So, a ghost asked me where her mum was."
But before we continue too much, Shadows, Lucia, do you look up that registration, the license plate?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Please roll an intelligence technology to look up.
I'm
Because time
sorry.
has passed by now, so I want to.
I'm sorry, you pronounced intelligence when wrong?
Lol.
Wait, what? I missed that.
I said Deucer pronounced intelligence when wrong.
It do be like that. That's 5 successes. The license plate is registered.
Oh,
to...
that's a crit. So that's
What?
he re-rolled as
Oh
well.
damn!
So that's 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7.
10.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
That's 10 successes. The
Yes,
car
it is
belongs-
intelligence. Win.
Well, the car belongs to a shell company that is a shell company owned by another shell company owned by another shell company that goes back a bit, and as you dig, you find ties to what to anyone else would just seem like some nameless corporation, but because you're Kindred, you have knowledge that other people are privy to. This car is, or the company is tied to the cult of Mithras. It is not an antigen or SI car.
Oh, thank God. For tonight.
I think Lucia will text because she doesn't know they're on a date. So you'll get a text.
Yeah.
And by you, I mean Lauren, will get a text saying the car was Mithraic in origin. ... Weird. Going
I
back to my
imagine it'll be
robot
one of
dog. Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. I imagine it'd be one of those. She only actually checks her phone when she's like waiting in the line to get a drink.
Yeah.
Because of course she will be just for drinking as much as possible because eat food is such a wonderful talent.
Yes. So you were saying about a ghost.
Yeah. When Gerbil comes back into focus.
Oh, sorry.
Gerbil, focus.
Oh, that's such a good joke. Yeah, so as she's getting a drink, she'll see the message from Lucia, send a reply back, and then just say, "Yeah, so a ghost asked me where her mum was." She's saying this quietly enough so that it doesn't carry over the sound of the music.
Our nights were too terribly different then, minus the child part. And he actually leads you over to a corner and whispers and basically he goes, I went to my son's grave.
Did anything happen?
He appeared to me.
Laura's was like, okay, yes, ghosts appear to people. I can see them if I sort of blind myself to the rest of the world. So she's aware that, like, yeah, ghosts are a thing. She's just seen them wandering around the cycle. Is this the first time this has happened?
I don't have the ability to peer beyond the veil.
Because Lauren does have sensing unseen.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just like, okay, so if you had said that you did have the ability to look through other things that aren't there, I could have possibly chalked that one up as maybe the last time you went to go there, you might have seen him hanging around. So that means actually he specifically made himself visible for you.
It was my son. He made himself visible and told me he loved me.
That is big. So I'm kind of concerned.
The last time he saw me, he was 8.
That's not why I'm concerned. Though I imagine that would have been incredibly hard for you. And I can see why you wanted to come dancing.
The scary thing is, leaving him behind wasn't hard. Not at the time. I had lung cancer. I was diagnosed in 1963.
She's like looking around, just making sure nobody's actually paying attention.
And I knew I was dying.
So this, and she just kind of gestures to all of him.
This
was the price for the way out.
Mm-hmm. I kind of dived into the occult. It seemed, I thought I was going crazy, but I wanted a way out so bad, and my sire.
That one does actually get a completely just not even like a derisive laugh, just more like a sort of just genuinely amused one. That's actually impressive. Though it is amusing, like you went so far into the occult to find the way out. I'm surprised you don't have a pyramid scheme going on.
I would slap you right now if it could do anything.
That her smile does actually fade. Is like, well, look around. Where are we?
And he actually does grin at that, and you're so easy to needle.
I've learned a thing or two, and one of it is mainly just to keep things loose and vague in case anyone's listening.
But he inflected it as a joke. Like, it was obviously him joking.
Yeah, You know, it's a shame. It's a shame that you can't enjoy these anymore. She's like holding. At this point, she's not even like she's not on cocktails. She's just on like mixers. So she's just got like a rum and coke or something. So it's a shame you can't enjoy these anymore. It's like it's overpriced as the shit, but still tastes nice.
At this point, I'd settle for just getting drunk.
Dudes, would you allow a minor retcon? Something that's obviously come up in a sort of future episode. But
Sure.
okay, Lauren is going to actually tell Timothy now rather than in the future. Like, you know, you still can do that, right?
Didn't we originally do this in the Nightmare episode?
No, we did it in episode 5.
Oh, right.
That's
okay,
why I was
my
asking
bad,
for like a
sorry.
very minor retcon, just because like it
Sure,
feels
sure,
thematic
sure,
for her
sure.
to tell him now, rather than just
No.
at the casual off
Goes-
chance thing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you can still do that. All you need is she just gestures to her drink and then gestures to her neck. And just mix the two together. Did you not know that? I've been doing this for years. I went through a bit of a phase in the 90s.
Let's just say my sire is a cunt, and she told me that was impossible.
I mean, that's how I can actually feel it. Like I can still taste this, but it doesn't do anything to me unless it's, you know, mixed together.
Okay.
Strong language.
He actually just
It's why out of character she's specifically not said blood or vitae or anything like that. It's just implications.
he just once you finish this mixer, he just grabs your hands and whisks you off to the dance floor.
It's like, oh, okay, we're dancing now. Funnily enough, actually, clubs are designed that, especially nowadays, they'll just have like random pillars with like things around the side for putting drinks in. So she just leaves her drink in one of them. Like she also doesn't care if it gets spiked because it's not going to affect her.
Yeah.
He is blushing right now, so he does look human, and he just leans into your ear and just goes, "Can we have half an hour where we just pretend to be normal for?"
Sure. And if you really still want to get that buzz again, all we really need to do is find whoever's about to pass out.
It's a little bit more complicated for me than you.
It's performance anxiety, you see.
No, she knows. It's like actually, Can I do an awareness check to see if there's anyone with an anchor tattoo?
Yeah, sure.
Specifically looking for an anchor tattoo.
You find Popeye. Please roll a wits awareness.
Sure.
It's a
3.
it's a nightclub. Everybody's moving around rapidly, so I'd say difficulty 4 because it's gonna be hard to spot something like that.
All right, I'll willpower another one.
Okay.
4.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it takes a little a couple of minutes, but you do finally see.
Wait, before you say anything, odds guy, evens girl.
Lol.
Yeah, in that case, so I presume I do eventually spot someone.
Yeah, you see a woman in a mid-20s she's well built, character. And she's sat around the table with friends and they're laughing and joking.
Presumably, I would possibly hazard a guess that this is possibly a sailor on some leave with a bunch of other sailors. So she's actually just going to gesture to the table in the corner. It's like, they're in the Navy.
Oh. Hey, let's do the ground pounder routine.
Remind me again. It's been a while.
And he drags you over and goes, go, and basically does insert. I've never been part of the military, so he just goes, howdy, and basically insert
military slang.
Military slang.
Yeah, I realize what you're doing. Also, just
yeah.
like this is just so fun to watch. It's just
insert military parlance here.
Yeah,
and he basically goes. So how
you could actually call them a bunch of limeys because for a long time part of the Navy ration was lime juice.
And goes, how are you limeys doing?
Especially also because you're American, so.
I'm
okay. He grew up in Canada, not the US. Check yourself.
Before you wreck yourself, presumably.
Served in Vietnam, so last I checked, there was no Canadian forces in Vietnam.
Canadians volunteered.
Oh, okay. I genuinely did not know that.
There were actual Canadian soldiers who volunteered for the Vietnam War. Anyway.
Yeah, getting sidetracked. That was more just like interesting thing to know.
The woman with who's wearing a tank top, and you can see the tattoo. You realize they do all have tattoos. They are.
He actually, at this point, he hikes up the sleeve on his right arm, and there's actually he has a Semper Fi tattoo.
All right.
Oh, so United States Marines.
Yeah.
And
then he says, before you say anything, I grew up in Canada.
And then I'm sure they insert jokey Canadian comment here.
Like that's the thing is about like a lot of the jokes about Canada are very lazy, so it'll just be like
so it's like
it's something about being really friendly or something.
And then he basically goes, okay, get your A's and a boots out of the way. Come on.
I mean, it's like, so I was gonna go more for a Tim Horton joke, but
nah, that's the thing is like no, they're not gonna be too creative about it. You're overthinking it. It's gonna be something like just a boot or a or like loose or something.
Okay,
like
hold that thought.
Stupid.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna turn on the lights because the sun's going down.
Okay.
Fair enough. And then we all ran away and abandoned him.
We still have a job to do.
Okay, I'm back.
Yay, we have a job once more.
And then he basically goes, so, are y'all on shore leave?
Yep. But basically summer holidays.
Oh, I know how that feels. The 2 week, you're on base for so long, you're on ship, you're at sea for so long, you come back, you got like 3 months of leave.
Yeah.
And Lauren just goes straight into it. She's like, and this is just what I used to do.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this. I swear, it's. I mean, I like being on a ship, but damn, like cooped up like a bunch of sardines in a can.
The warships are fine. The submarines are apparently very, very claustrophobic because you're literally standing on your food.
and he looks directly at the girl in the tank top and goes, well, the view is certainly a lot better on land.
And that they're all just like, oh, they're like, and then the girl just, wow, that was. Where did you pick your flirting techniques? The 60s.
And he does burst out laughing and goes.
He's a Marine. What do you expect? And he's not the good kind of Marine either.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Well, the Royal One's just better.
I'll have you know I was a sniper.
And then Lauren's just like, she's just playing this up for the rest of them because, like, yeah.
Well, it's too bad you didn't pick. It's too bad that you didn't spot any good pickup lines while you were looking through that scope of yours.
Okay, I have never been good at pickup lines. Okay.
Really, we can tell, and they all just giggle.
All right.
How about something else? How about, just since we were clearly all either active serving or former serving. I'm now a firefighter. Got out of the service. Let's say we properly cut loose. You folks look like you've been at sea for a while.
Yeah. We were going to start here, but go see what else.
How about
see what the nightlife's like in London.
Well, since you're obviously members of the superior service, the senior service, first round's on me.
Well, in that case,
she's definitely giving off
yeah.
She's not even having to try. Like, this is part of her background and her backstory that she was in the Navy.
Yep, and they but basically just continues like that. I don't know enough. I don't really know any military stuff to continue on a conversation like this.
They drink a lot when they're off duty.
Yeah,
because you've got 12-hour shift, so it's the moment you've got some leave, it's just like, fuck it.
And he actually does chat up the girl and goes,
yeah,
without any more terrible pickup lines.
That's also why Lauren's decided, fuck it, alcohol, because by that point you might actually have a chance.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna make Timothy roll for terrible pickup lines.
Oh, you bastard!
Would that be a charisma or a manipulation?
It would be. Let me see what the skills are. What does Timothy have? You know what?
It'd be persuasion as a skill, but I'm asking whether it'd be manipulation or charisma.
I mean, you are manipulating her because you want to drink her blood. So, yes, manipulation, I would say.
Okay.
Like, you're also not actually flirting with her because you're in a relationship and blah, blah, blah.
Well,
this is so weird. Like, you actually start to think about this. This is so weird.
I mean, if it helps, Lauren's flirting with one of the more tough things, so.
Okay, and in all honesty, Steve, we have made it pretty perfectly clear that this is not a
this is not a closed doors relationship.
Yeah, this ain't closed doors at all. So
plus also Lauren has demonstrated over like the decade they've known each other that she is an insatiable flirt.
So yeah, this is let's be honest, every time they go out clubbing, it pretty much always ends up at some combination of this.
Yeah, sometimes she decides not to, but other times, sometimes she's the one getting the pickup lines because she looks like a bodybuilder. But
yeah.
2 successes.
You don't come up with too bad flirty lines, but there's a couple of groans and giggles as the night goes on.
Are you going into like deliberately cheesy rather than just straight up bad?
Yeah,
he is going full cheese with this.
Yeah, I figured. It's like they're still bad, but I'm actually aware of it.
Yeah, in that case, they're enjoying it. They're there for a laugh, and they're getting drunker and drunker.
That was why I was plying them with alcohol, because hopefully that would make
Yeah.
the check easier. Also, because we
So-
want to get smashed anyway.
Yeah, so presumably you eventually lead one of them away to.
Oh, he is there at some point. He is going full on makeout session with this gal.
Fair enough,
Yeah,
and then
Lauren's
It-
deciding not to. It's like she's introduced Timothy to the wonderful world of laced blood and being a booze hound.
He actually is slightly hungry, so
I mean, I'm
Yep.
hungry too, so I might feed off the same person, but I'm not specifically looking for a drunk person
Yeah.
anymore. I'm just like, I could eat.
and they do the sneakily exit out the side door into the alleyway
yeah.
and nom.
Okay, if you both take a point from her, she's gonna be very drowsy.
No, I'm gonna
And,
find someone else.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
he's purposefully only taking one, even if he was hungrier, just because he has actually enjoyed his time and he does not want
Yeah.
anything bad to happen to this gal. So
I will be back in
Yeah.
a sec. Actually, I'm gonna turn my camera off.
Okay. So yeah, the two of you feed. You can take your hunger back down to 1. And the night continues a bit. Can both of you sleep as the night continues after you've fed? Sorry, what were you going to say?
oh, I was just wondering how sloshed does Timothy get?
That's a good idea. That's a good point, actually. Please roll a stamina resolve.
Ooh, I'm fairly. That's an okay roll for me.
I did this.
Ooh, that's one success. Ooh, I have the perfect one. He hasn't been drunk in 50 years, so it hits him hard.
Yeah, it hits you like you feel like somebody took that sledgehammer you had used to break the grave and just clonked you with it. Like the alcohol hits you hard. The world spins. If you still had bodily fluids, you would throw up right now. But you are buzzed. You are massively buzzed.
Oh wow, you completely botched that roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but both of you are at hunger 1 now. So,
Yeah,
Um,
you know what, I'm gonna do an odds or evens one because Lauren wasn't specifically looking for someone who's very
Okay.
drunk. So odds,
okay.
it's just a regular person in the club. Evens, it's
Hmm. Yeah.
all right. I'm gonna make a stamina roll as well.
Stamina resolve.
Resolve.
Yeah.
Resolve. Actually, where is resolve?
It's under a mental.
Yeah.
Oh, right. As in, yeah. I get you. Yeah. So, oh, right. Okay. So it's just a straight up ability check or attribute check.
Yep.
Cool.
Please, for the love of God, stay sober enough for the both of you.
All.
3 successes.
Yeah, you definitely feel a buzz, but you are still you are still mentis compass. Timothy, on the other hand, he is.
Timothy walks into the bar. He is fucking sloshed.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
Like-
you can actually easily just bluff this one if anyone notices. Is like, oh, you went outside for some fresh air. The cold air hit you, and then you just realize exactly just how much you've had.
Yeah.
Because that is a thing that happens. Like the moment you get introduced to fresh air, you just go like, and suddenly drunk.
And he has had a bottle of something that he is pretend drinking from. So this doesn't just come out of nowhere. But he is.
Yeah.
And he does lead the girl he's with in, and he is just, that thing where when you're that certain type of drunk who just gets super, super confident once they go 3 sheets to the wind.
Yeah.
Are you too drunk to remember to wipe her memory?
Well, that's a thought, actually.
I was just like, because I would assume that because I stayed in control of myself, I would have wiped whoever I was feeding off of.
Intelligence resolve. From memory check. I think that's a memory check, right? Intelligence resolve?
Yeah.
4 successes because you are fucked.
I got a crit. Oh, good. Oh, good.
That's 5 successes.
Oh, yeah. You drink, and like I said, the alcohol hits you like a truck, and you are about to start walking back in. And you're like, oh, wait.
And then he just goes,
look at me.
No, let me do this. Okay. Okay. Do me a favor and come on. Look here. Come on. Come on. Look. Okay. Forget.
And she's like, but why are we outside?
And he does the make out.
Yeah.
And they stay out a little bit longer, and then they come back in.
And
Lauren watches this happen, and it's just like
To be fair, he hasn't gotten drunk in 50 years, so this makes sense.
Yeah, she's like, it's kind of like a sort of, God damn it, I'm gonna have to look after him tonight. Also, I didn't realize it'd be this bad, and no, I'd still have done it again if the tables were turned. Just that's like the stuff that goes through her head right now. Is like, I would still have done this.
So you continue partying and having fun and having a good time. Both of you, please roll a wit awareness.
Any modifiers?
I will.
Timothy gets a -2 for being shit-faced.
And that's a wits awareness?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So that just...
Yeah, there's no point re-rolling that. So I get 3.
2 successes.
Lauren, there is a group of people sitting around the table, 5 people, 2 women and 3 men, sat around the table. They look like a mismatched group. Like there's a few in their early to mid 20s, some in their 30s. Like they're a bit of a mismatched group. They're all wearing very nice looking suits, and they are all doing a fairly decent job of pretending they're not watching you and Timothy. They're definitely watching you and Timothy. You have no idea how long they've been there.
Apparently alcohol lowers dex and int rolls, not wits.
Oh, okay then. Well, you can re-roll the 2 dice then, I guess.
Okay.
See if you would have noticed.
Nope. No other additional successes.
No, womp womp.
I was gonna have a look. Shit.
So yeah, that's what you notice. A group of people sat around the table watching you.
I'm kind of thinking I should probably put some dots in performance at some point, because I feel like this would actually be quite useful just to bluff, because I have no dots in performance.
Mm.
In that case, she's just going to kind of not head straight over to them, but just kind of sort of circle around the dance floor, just kind of vaguely drifting in their direction.
And may I say that at around this time, he's coming off the shit face and down to normal buzzed.
To regain control, I feel like that's another stamina resolve. 2 successes. Two
Okay.
successes to not to get it.
2 successes.
You feel a little more like a little more clear-headed. Not massively, but
He is down to good buzz and not shit faced.
yeah, like that sort of like your brain's wrapped in cotton wool or something, like just mellow.
They call me Mellow.
And he walks over to Lauren and goes, "I love you, babe."
Oh, I love you too. I take it you had fun outside.
Mm-hmm.
Is he kind of getting to the point where it's like the buzz is starting to wear off and he's just tired?
Yeah, he is in that sort of cotton-brained, mellow, kind of sleepy.
Right, well, why don't you go sit down? We have been doing a lot of dancing. Just take a moment. I've just got some stuff I need to take care of and then we can head home, yeah?
Okay.
And she knows it's not going to do anything to him, but it's more just appearances. She'll just ask the bartender for like a big glass of water and just hand it to him.
Yeah.
And with
so the bartender gets you some water.
And she says, like,
Just,
my partner's had just a bit too much tonight.
It happens. Here you go. Is a healer, sir. I hand you a glass of water.
and he grabs it, spills about a quarter of it on the back of the bar. And
Okay. Just sit down. Just okay. Just don't even make it to a table. Just sit down at the bar. There's stools free.
And he
she sat down right next to the suited people.
Timothy. And at this point he's doing he can't actually fall asleep, but he is doing
yeah, the super sort of just I know it's that sort of I know I shouldn't sleep, but I so badly want to sleep. Sort of feeling.
Are you here for a business meeting or something? Just casually, she's still got a drink in one hand, just leaning against the bar, just not even looking at the suited people, just kind of looking back into the dance floor and just kind of talking at them rather than to them.
Yeah. And one of them replies and says something like that.
I wouldn't possibly be waiting for certain individuals, would you?
It's a good question.
Praise the sun.
And at that, the figure just takes a sip of his drink and just praise the sun indeed.
No, why are you actually here? I did notice after I came back to ablude myself, so to speak.
We're here because we got a rather distressed, but we had a rather distressed phone call from a colleague earlier this evening. It would seem some malcontents broke into his place of work and accosted him and asked if we look into the matter.
I mean, yeah, it's a really serious thing. If a co-worker and a friend of yours is attacked at work, that's like, what is the world coming to these days?
What indeed?
I think it's time we called it a night, don't you? Do you reckon? See if there's like a see if there's a McDonald's open.
Yes, let's. And he looks at the figure looks at the rest of the group, and they all just nod and they all get up. And it's kind of spooky because they all just sort of move and get off their chairs and stand up as one.
Okay.
Doing the Macarena.
Can I? Can I? Can I? Timothy, now that he is a little bit more conscious of his surroundings, he does look over and see Lauren talking to him, and his vampire brain goes, "Okay, you've had your fun. Let's not be drunk now." And if I roused, could I, get rid of all the alcohol, or at least most of it?
That is actually one of the uses for rousing, yeah.
Okay.
To overcome poison effects.
Do you get hungry? That's the question.
Nope.
He does not.
Well, good, because otherwise you would have been undoing all you just did.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, you feel the buzz fade away.
He's still acting a little
clarity
cotton-brained.
Yeah.
He's still going to act a little cotton-brained and go,
I'm going to do the same actually now that they're because like she's kind of still tipsy, but she's still just focusing. But it's like now to actually be full clear-headed.
And he goes,
and I'm hungry again.
He goes,
I mean,
I was at hunger too when we started this, so it's fine.
You rolled pretty well on your stamina resolve to not be drunk, so I wasn't going to make you roll to do that. It's just Timothy got totally smashed.
Okay, that's fair. So if you'll allow, if we could just ignore that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he basically looks the bartender up. My ride's leaving, so see ya. And he almost trips.
Enjoy the rest of the evening.
He almost trips as he gets up and goes, whoa, and walks off and goes.
The bartender just shakes his head like and just says lightweight under his breath.
I know it's embarrassing. I have to live with him.
And the bartender just looks at you and smiles and says, "More alcohol for you, though, right?"
I suppose you could give me one to go.
Certainly, and he gets he gets like a bottle of something.
Bourbon.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, she'll just.
I think I see Lauren as a bourbon person.
Yeah. She's a spirits person. That's why she's been drinking mixers and cocktails.
But yeah, the moment they get like a block away, he goes, "Oh, okay."
No, let's not do anything too dramatic. Our friends here from the Mithraic Appreciation Society would like to have a few words.
And he goes, "Oh, well, considering that we're both alive, that we're both still alive.
Let's just keep this up for a little bit longer.
That you want to talk with us?
I would appreciate some of your time, yes. My name is Tony Castelli, and I believe you are Mr. Timothy Lockhart, and you are Miss Lauren Tennant, yes?
Would I know who this guy is? Using like the streetwise stuff of
intelligence, politics.
Would it be politics or streetwise, depending on how I know him?
Streetwise, actually, yeah.
Yeah, especially because he'd be like a rival to me at one point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the politics intelligence.
That is 3.
Do.
I was forgetting how to count. Jesus.
Lol. She's drunk in real life. I
No, it's 12:30. I'm tired.
mean, that's fair. I'm tired too. It's Shadow's fault. Shadow having work and having job and meetings and shit. Just rude. It takes a little moment and it scratches your brain for a little bit.
It's like Castelli. I know.
You're pretty
I know that
sure.
name.
You're pretty sure the Castellis were a crime family, like decades ago, like in the 1940s and earlier on, and they kind of died out. The Castelli family kind of fell out of prominence in the decades following, but there's still Castellis about. They're not as prominent as they once were.
Lauren's just kind of like at the moment. It's like Castelli. I know that name. Is this business or is this business?
That really depends on how you choose to comport yourself this evening.
We're listening. Let's get to that. Let's see if there's a late night fast food place open.
Well, okay.
It's not out of the question for 7 individuals to go after a night out.
Okay, he actually indicates to his ears basically doing the does anyone have heightened senses without saying it out loud?
I don't remember if any of them have heightened senses.
Which one's that one? Was that Auspex? Was that
Hang on.
Alice might have.
Is heightened senses protein or is it animalism?
It's Auspex.
Oh God.
That's why I say Alice might have, because
yeah, that's fair. It's more just because it's like when it comes to powers I don't personally have, I get so many of them mixed up.
Yeah, basically.
No, Alice has sense the unseen.
Can we just say, for argument's sake, that one of them has it?
I mean, they don't, but
yeah, just none of them have it.
Yeah,
they're not built great. Just FYI.
Yeah, they're not well built.
Damn, I was gonna have this scene where he subvocalizing speech.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Oh well. And then he in that case he basically goes, perhaps a McDonald's isn't the safest place for conversation like this.
We do have a place. It's neutral ground.
I suppose that'll be the best we can get, isn't it?
It's the domain of another, and they abide by the laws of the Camarilla.
You know what? I'm feeling a little dramatic tonight. Do you give me your word that we will leave as intact as we came in?
Of course, provided you do not attack us.
And he nods his head.
So let us parlay then.
Let's. And they get into their car, and another one, and actually Tony makes a phone call, and another car is delivered, and a man gets out and gestures to the 2 women to get in, and you can get in with them. The 2 of you can. And it's both the SUVs pull away and they drive off to a large building somewhere in London. And it's empty. There's no furniture, there's not even wallpaper or carpets or anything. It is an empty building. The windows are completely boarded up. There's no sunlight at all. But it is just a derelict building. And the only thing in one of the rooms is a bunch of seats for people to sit on. And the 5 will go and sit on the seats, and where Tony will gesture for the 2 of you to do the same.
Yep.
You would also notice, Lauren, the license plate number is the same license plate you saw earlier.
You've been keeping an eye on us all night. Why didn't you approach us sooner?
We wanted to observe to see how best to approach you. Then when you came here, we figured we could observe you more openly.
I mean, I can respect that. That's smart thinking.
In that case, I would ask that the events in the cemetery remain private.
Wait, did you notice I don't think you noticed the SUV in the cemetery.
They said they were following us all night, so Timothy is assuming that meant both of us.
We didn't stop to watch you in the cemetery. We do like to have some sense of professionalism. We simply drove by a few times. That's all. Seems like you were having a moment, but we didn't pry.
It's been a long night.
So, you're not here to kill us.
No, simply to discern your motivations, your intentions regarding the Mithraic Museum, Mithras, and this city in general.
In that case, I think we should be completely honest. Myself and my coterie have been tasked with retaking London. That means removing both the SI and Mithras. And let's be completely honest, there's more of a chance at a peaceful, full compromise with Khan than Mithras.
You're not wrong there.
I mean, you have one who's a religious zealot whose family was destroyed, and the other one is a self-proclaimed god, so it's kind of 6 and a half a dozen.
The main difference as I see it is Mithras is insane. Even if he is a god, which personally I don't believe, he is mad. I don't think any thing, living or otherwise, that old can't be mad.
The 5 of them look at each other and they say, and Tony says, you recognize my name, but do you recognize the 5 of us? Do you understand who we are?
I do not recognize your name based on your Mithraic connection. I recognize your family name because... And she kind of sort of like looks down a bit and just kind of tenses up a bit. It's like, because you've been my rivals for 20 years.
So glad you noticed me, Miss Tennant.
You're a bit hard not to. You kept sticking your fingers into all of my pies.
I do apologize for that, but...
No, I understand. It was
it's the
just
way of
good
business. Exactly.
It was still frustrating, and I feel neither for your face-to-face, it's time to air some of the dirty laundry.
Well, we are known as Mithras's chosen soldiers, the army of the cult, these specialists, the elite, whatever you wish to call us. We are the heralds of the sun. We are chosen to carry out Mithras's will, whatever that may be. And there was a time where we would have struck you down for daring to suggest Mithras was anything other than the god he claims to be. But that was before that was before the fall. That was before London. That was before Antigen and everything that happened.
You know,
That was before your god fucked up in an awe-inspiring, spectacular way.
Exactly.
that's not exactly how I would put it, but unfortunately, yes, he is correct. However,
Mithras,
the bit about that
Mithras.
one about killing us just for daring to suggest that your god was anything but perfect, that's always struck me as a bit odd, not just in Kindred society, but when I was mortal.
Zealotry is it's an odd mindset to fall into, and it is one we
Yeah, it's
are.
like, when you're thinking about that sense, is your god really worth following if he needs mortals or paramortals to defend his honor against slights for creatures beneath him? Seems a bit kind of fragile, don't you think?
I couldn't agree more. And
Well-
it is one of many reasons we have chosen to walk a different path.
I mean, you and I
We-
both know as legitimate business people that it's not a good idea to surround yourself with people who just agree with you all the time.
No, an echo chamber can be just as devastating as the
Debate hall.
deadliest of weapons.
And while we're on this, you said you're on a different path.
Yes.
If you had your way, what would London look like?
There are other power players in London. Queen Anne is not the only person with designs on London. Neither is Khan. However, the one we now serve is on a level far removed, far above Queen Anne and Khan.
Well,
And she has no interest in either.
the
But
queen is just a
she-
prince.
Yes, she is.
Princes come,
She-
princes go. Such is the way of the Camarilla.
That they do. We have no interest in Queen Anne. She does not concern us or our new master's plan. Our new master is not. Our new master does not have the same kind of quirks as our previous master. She has but one goal and one goal alone. But this goal, if and when it is achieved, will herald a change that will resound across the world. We cannot undo what was done to Khan or to his family, nor can we undo the ramifications of his efforts, the rise of the Second Inquisition.
What do you mean can't undo what was done to his family? The
His
previous
chil-
Scourge's testimony before he was executed was
She,
that, oh, was it she?
yeah,
The previous Scourge's testimony before she was executed was that she embraced his children left them in wait for him to
Yes.
return, and he killed
Yes.
them upon his return.
That is the believed story. Yes, she did turn them, and she did indeed leave them.
And he nailed her
did
to a
not.
cross for it. I think actually, and she gestures to Timothy. I think actually he was the one who did the nailing.
Hmm.
I'm
That
gonna be
sounds-
honest. Let's. Of all the things I've had to do in the 50 years I've been aware of this world, that I enjoyed.
I mean, she
Mhm.
broke every tenet we have.
She murdered children, corrupted children. There are lines even we will not cross.
Exactly.
I had a rule when I was alive and made my company. No kids.
Yes, it's a simple rule, and yet rules like that are simple, and yet people fall afoul of them with disturbing frequency. But that is neither here nor there. The issue or the subject is that we are looking for a way to return Khan's children to the way they were before, to remove the curse from them. There are several avenues we are investigating. So we would ask that you do not assault him or anyone associated with him for the time being as we continue this investigation. I do not know if you can follow those rules. I do not know what time frame Queen Anne has placed upon you with your own quest, but we would rather deal with Khan in a more peaceful manner. After all, at the very least, if we just outright killed him, we would make him a martyr, and a martyr is immortal.
I believe Lady Scarlet's exact words were, "Take as much time as you need."
That works.
Which, in hindsight, probably means you have 6 months, and then we'll start riding your backs like nobody's business. But that's for the future.
You say that, but well, it's taken us 2 years to get to where we are. Admittedly, the Khan's brigade did gut us like a fish, but let's face it, a lot of it was because the institutions that we all uphold are monolithic in how slow they move.
And
Indeed.
on this track of honesty, this was an inevitability. The way the Camarilla was and still is, it's brittle.
Yes.
The reason why it's existed for so long is because of the masquerade. The reason why they enforce it so heavily is because they require it in order to function. And the fall is the best case.
Complacency. It is. Well, as I think if anyone has had to actually engage in the mortal world recently, they have a wonderful thing called bureaucracy. And by wonderful, I mean it can be stabbed with 1,000 knives and cast into a volcano. Camarilla is also plagued with its own bureaucracy.
Yes, it is one of the many things Mithras had grown tired of with regards to the Camarilla. It is why he wanted to do away with the Camarilla entirely in the United Kingdom. You see, he has ambitions far beyond just London.
Yes, today, London, tomorrow, the world.
No, just the United Kingdom.
I mean, would he really stop there? He's old enough to probably want more.
Eventually, perhaps, but
What
for
was that
now, I
line?
believe.
What was that line Darius used? He is the rightful God King of the United Kingdom.
Yes.
Sounds like certain. Well, you've seen some of the ones online, haven't you, Timothy? Or like, maybe not actually. There's quite a few that are just a bit mad, a bit nuts, and they're kind of sort of getting louder and louder. And
Look, the internet is a wonderful, terrible tool which I frankly don't think I could delve into without going completely nutters.
I mean, how
It
long
is
did it
an
take you to figure out how
interesting
to use a phone?
15 years.
Mm-hmm. And she actually just turns to look at the others and is like, this is kind of what I'm talking about with the Camarilla. Timothy here, as he said, he's only been around for 50 years. He's already having problems with the modern world. I admit I have some problems myself. It's
Okay. It's less camera.
I'm not using you as, I'm not trying to like put you down. It's more just for example, in this moment, you're a case study of the Camarilla. They are so entrenched in what the world was like when they were embraced that they can't see anything else. Same
It's
with
less.
Mithras. He has the same problem.
It's less Camarilla and more. I was raised by hardcore Christians who themselves grew up in 1890. So,
As we could wax poetic until the sun rose, but it's not really going to get us anywhere.
anyway, I'm a little off topic. Anyway, speaking of the problems of these modern knights, there's a rather destructive spirit that's been popping up around
I've
London.
been tracking it. One of the people says, mid-30s Middle Eastern man. I've been tracking it. I haven't found a way to locate it when it's not extremely volatile. We've been trying to look into who it is. Yes.
Well, we know for certain that the spirit appeared in a building here, and he pulls out like a map or something here, and it started a car wreck on right here.
I saw her. She spoke to me.
Interesting.
She was looking for her mother, which I found it rather odd given that the car she appeared in was being driven by a man and there was no other adult in the car.
Interesting.
And
interesting. Just adds to the mystery. And Dr. Banerjee will mark off all the locations. And as in the previous time we did this, you recognize the locations, having read the book about Laodicea. The locations of former Roman camps.
Wait a second. These were all Roman military camps that were destroyed by Boudica.
You're right, he says after a few minutes of looking at it. You're right.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
And he begins tapping each point. Like, he taps each point in order. And as he taps each point, you notice that there's a
Timothy
pattern.
And Timothy actually names the camps in the order they were destroyed by Boudica as he is.
Yeah, you notice that there is a pattern as the matches not just Boudica's slow progress through London, but gradually the ghost is getting closer and closer to the Andes Hotel.
Oh no.
What's the Anders Hotel?
The Tremere Chantry.
The Anders Hotel is the location of the Tremere Chantry.
Sorry, that was an out of character one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he would say that out loud.
And she was looking for her mother. Is anyone else getting that sinking feeling that her mother is Bodicea, and Bodicea, or what is left of her, is beneath that hotel?
No, Bodicea was taken and buried elsewhere, and I don't know where Bodicea was actually buried.
Nobody really knows anymore.
All right.
Bodicea had 2 daughters.
She did. They were both
defiled and brutally murdered by the Romans. Romans, except.
Well, we know where one is or was, and we know what she looks like. She seems to have been able to keep an eye on current trends, because this is supposedly a 2,000-year-old ghost who looks like she goes to, and she'll just name a primary school near the area. Like she's wearing a modern primary school uniform.
She might. He ponders for a moment. It is possible she might not remember who she is. That her memories are fragmented. She might not realize that she is that old, and that she only remembers that her mother is lost. And she only remembers that.
All she seems to know about is finding her mother. So, you said there was 2. Oh no.
The Tremere were fucking around and finding out. And
as they do.
The other one is in the hotel.
Oh, when you say the Tremere were fucking around and finding out, Alice, one of the heralds, she shifts a little uncomfortably at that.
And then he goes, and then he actually pulls out a vial and shows it to her and goes, "Don't worry, I've been fucking around too."
I bet the Chantry love that.
They wouldn't if they knew.
Well, I won't tell if you don't.
The Chantry is under.
The Chantry's under new management now.
She's rather lovely.
She is. I've had quite a few pleasant conversations with her.
She's
no, she would say a few pleasant conversations with Ice. She would say her name.
She's a shining light in this world of darkness.
Wow. How dare you? How dare you? We can't see Shadows, but Shadows is definitely face palming right now.
Yeah, and Timothy, so Khan's children. The first thing that comes to mind is mages, but
yes, we've been exploring possibilities. So far, we have the mages, the Fae, somebody with true faith, unlike anything we've seen before, it's said that there were those far in the past who could wield their true faith to such an extent that they could perform actual acts of God. Whether such people still exist or ever existed, we don't know.
So Timothy at that actually pulls out his phone and just Google's faith healers in London.
Yeah. Roll an intelligence technology.
So that'll be. You know what? I'm gonna rouse for this to give myself a chance of succeeding.
Well,
Yay! I didn't get hungry.
woohoo.
Crit, pretty, crit.
That's 5.
A crit 5. You find a bunch of psychics and fortune tellers and soothsayers and so-called faith healers.
Then he goes,
But-
scam.
Yeah, but I was about to say, like the majority of them, like the websites are tacky. They're all bright, flashy, meant to make you pay less attention to the obvious bullshit and think, oh, this looks nice, I'll go for this one. You know, it's like eye candy. But there is one that catches your eye. It is simply it is a picture of like the main page. It has like the buttons for the links to other pages, but the main image is of a crystal ball with two hands holding the ball, and in the ball is an eye that's opened, and it says it just it has some fancy name I'll think of later on that I can't think of right now.
It's just late.
Pardon?
It's late. It's fine.
Yeah. Like the Eye of Eden or something like that. Like something very like, and it's just you know, Mother Teresa sort of bigger. Come and listen to the prophecies of such and such person, and let her third eye show you your future. It's for a psychic, and she is the website claims that she is very good at what she does. There's lots of reviews and testimonies, and the website does look very professionally done, like something Joey would have done, like professional, not tacky and eye candy.
Are they asking for money, or is it just a come and see?
Come and see.
Out of the 53, the 3 hits I got when I typed in Faith Healer, this is the only one that isn't asking for money.
It is located in a block of flats.
Is this for looking for like someone with true faith? Sorry, I'm kind of starting to lose focus a bit.
Timothy Googled Faith Healers.
Okay, so this is either a mage or either So Lauren's just gonna sort of turn to Tony and just go, what exactly is the consensus regarding us to the wizards?
Mages.
Whatever.
No, it's actually important. They don't like the term wizard.
Okay. It's more
Ha-
of
ha-
getting the name right is less important than if they're going to try and kill us on sight.
Look, there are some.
It
There
honestly depends on the mage.
before anybody says anything. Look, there are some mages that are petty enough to kill you over that.
Okay, so basically just being at court.
He's not wrong. It really depends on the mage. There are those that are willing to work with Kindred and Lupine and Fae. There are those that will absolutely try to destroy you the moment they catch, and the moment they see you. It really depends on.
Really, it is no different than trying to keep the court from killing each other during Elysium.
Yes.
Just with
the mages
magic rather than fangs.
Yeah, the main difference is some mages have the destructive power of a thermonuclear warhead. Well,
be like that.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh yes, if a mage, I've heard
Timothy know this, or does Gerbil know this? Before we
I know
continue?
this out of character, but I'm playing up Lauren.
Yeah, well, I'm just asking because we're going.
Well,
just want to make sure we're not going into metagame territory here.
Timothy has 3 occult. So
okay.
what I'm
In that case,
what I
roll intelligence occult to see how much you know about mages.
My ankle's going to sleep.
and again, since we're nearing the end, I'm gonna rouse.
We'll say most Kindred don't get a lot of exposure to mages or anything really outside of Kindred.
Him roll. That's why I'm having him roll.
I really need a cult.
Willpower.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you want to re-roll?
Yeah, that was a bad roll.
Womp womp.
Statistically average.
Lol. So, with 4 successes, you know that mages. When it comes to lupine, the general advice with lupine is the only way to survive a fight with a lupine is to not get in a fight with a lupine. And the same advice is generally given to mages. So, like, mages are far less likely to just kill you just because they're not driven by the same rage that lupine are. However, what you know of mages is that they are potentially godlike in power. Like a mage can and has killed an antediluvian. You would be aware of that. You would know that an antediluvian has been killed by mages.
So Timothy,
at least according to rumor.
Timothy basically on that he goes.
Yeah.
That and the main difference is some mages have the destructive capability of a thermonuclear warhead.
Because he was killed by magical nukes.
And then
okay.
And then Lauren says, "Wait, what?" And then Timothy goes, "Oh yes, I believe the rumor is a group of 3 mages managed to kill an antediluvian."
Ravenos, if I'm out of character, I think it was Ravenos.
And according to the rumor, all 3 of them walked away.
And we're supposed to be the apex predators on this planet.
I think you'll find as you delve further and further into lore that we are maybe about the 3rd rung of power. There's humans, then Fae, then changelings, then us, and then
the
there's everything
Lupines,
else.
presumably.
Then
Then above us is the lupines.
Okay.
And then from what you just described, above the lupines is the mages.
And then may I say that Timothy also knows about mummies and demons? Just knows of their existence,
yeah,
nothing about them.
yeah.
And then he
I mean,
goes,
everyone
That's a
knows
lot
about
for
mummies.
4 successes. Like,
I'd say everyone knows about mummies,
mean,
but not everyone knows that they're actually supernatural.
Everyone knows about demons because everyone knows what the infernalism is a thing. But
okay, can I make another
with...
roll to see if I know about mummies?
Okay. You may make a roll to know about mummy.
And another rouse. Oh look, I'm hungry.
Well, you undid all your hard work. No,
That is 5. Oh, what the hell? I'll do a willpower.
Okay, I mean,
I'm gonna see if I can succeed more. 5, 6, 7.
7 successes. Yeah, you know about mummies.
Yeah, and just so you, for those who don't know, mummies.
Not a massive amount because.
To be
like,
fair, this is the
much...
gap in my World of Darkness knowledge. I know it exists, but I don't actually know anything about it.
Mummies can literally regenerate from literally anything. Like, it will literally take the annihilation of every single cell of their being, including their wrappings, in order to kill it. And even then, it probably won't die. So, and then Timothy goes, then demons, then mummies.
And where do ghosts fit in this?
Rates are probably around, probably above Kindred, and now that I think about it, changelings are probably above vampires as well. Let's be honest.
We suck. We just absolutely suck.
Yes, we do. Pun intended.
I mean, I know we have to. I'm not even give you that one. It's what we do to survive. But yeah, we are just terrible. Like, we're not even. I would even say we're probably lower than humans. They know how to use. They know how to use the internet like this, like it's breathing.
So, sorry, we are what?
So she says, like, you know, she kind of says, like, I kind of say we're even below Cain. We might have incredible power, but well, the older we get, the less imagination we have.
That and the fact that we literally cannot walk in the daylight.
Yeah, that's it.
That is something of a detriment. We Kindred do like to believe that we are significantly higher up the food chain than we really are. But that is a human trait, and it is one we carry over into our own lives.
Is that a comforting lie we tell ourselves so that we're not completely overwhelmed by the fact that we are the bottom of creation?
It certainly is, yes. Exactly what it is.
You know what this means?
We are parasites in every sense of the word.
Well, we kind of already knew that. At least I did. I've been trying to. That's why I'm a firefighter, Timothy. I have my own demons with that one. Yeah, none of what we do actually matters because there's going to be something bigger and scarier than us that is going to stand on us without even realizing we're there.
So way the bigger fish.
I hate that movie.
Yeah, like. Anyway, I think we've taken up enough of your time.
It is getting rather early.
It's been a treat.
I do hate to ask of this, but it is getting quite late. I don't suppose we can stay here for the
You're more than welcome. to remain here. We have sleeping bags that we can let you sleep in, and the rooms are all secured against the sunlight. Nobody will come in during the day. You have my word.
What do you ask of us in return? It is obviously
Nothing. You have.
Okay,
We would
well-
ask that.
out of character. Is one of the Camarilla's tenets like hospitality? Like you need to
Yeah, basically.
provide
Mhm.
aid for kindred in need.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
No.
Oh.
Hospitality is you must present
Hosp-
yourself to
Yeah.
those to like the owner of the domain.
Yeah.
And-
well,
and he
It
does-
actually says nothing about providing aid.
Oh,
And
hey,
before they leave, Timothy does say, "Please pass my heartfelt apologies to." I forgot his name.
Darius.
Darius, and inform him that my beast took over and made me quite arrogant.
I will pass
Are the
along.
ways of the Ventru.
I will pass along your apology. Timothy, please roll wits insight to see if you notice a few things.
Okie dokie.
Difficulty 3.
Rouse. Yay, I'm at hunger 3.
Yeah, you are. I mean, given that we're going back in time with this, I don't care. So
Wouldn't you be
you
a
know,
hunger 4?
No,
You failed 3 rouses since feeding.
no, I haven't. I've only failed 2.
yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Yep, 4.
Four successes. You were driven to some obscure part of London in a more rundown area. You have heard the heralds refer to somebody else they serve, and you've heard them call her, or refer to her as a she, a woman that they serve. You found that one place that seems like the only legitimate, possibly the only legitimate psychic or whatever. And the address is very close to where this house is.
And okay, I would like to make.
They did mention they were in someone else's domain.
I would like to make an intuitive jump. That one salubri we met in session 0. That was a she, right?
Yep.
And he looks at you and looks at Tony, and he smiles and goes, "You don't happen to be working for one of the usurped?"
Very clever, he says, but doesn't say anything other than that.
And he goes, "I'm pretty sure we met her about 10 years ago."
I'm pretty sure you didn't. Doesn't say anything other than that.
And he goes, "Professional courtesy, I understand." Unless we have anything else, I think that's a good place to end off.
Yes, I think that's a fantastic place to end. Yeah, so. So they're not doing much, just trying to change the world. They told you a few things about how low down on the food chain Kindred really are. And yes, for anyone who might be new to the world of darkness, Kindred like to strut about like they're all down a bag of potato chips. They really aren't.
They
Like pretty much any other other supernatural creature, and even human hunters can just fucking own vampires if they really put their mind to it.
That's
do be
why I
like
would actually
that.
say that humans are higher up than vampires.
Mm.
And it's basically just everything about the Camarilla and even the Sabbat and some of the Anarch factions is entirely just self-delusion, trying to kid themselves that we're not the bottom of the supernatural food chain.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when a literal ball of hydrogen that's just chilling out in space can annihilate you just by existing.
Are you talking about what? Are you talking about the sun, or are you talking about some of the stuff that exists in the void?
Pretty sure it's the sun.
The sun. I'm talking about the sun.
I'm pretty sure
also some
it's
stuff in
not the
deep
sun
void
as
also.
in the ball of hydrogen, so much as the sun as the mythical,
light bringer.
light bringer of light, blah blah blah. Like I think it's at least in the Book of Nod is worded as it's a curse from the bringer of light himself.
I honestly would not be surprised, given World of Darkness's tendencies, if the sun was a sentient creature.
No, it's just a spirit.
And
I was more just thinking along the lines of it's like the void engineers specifically, or because they're the ones who do all the space travel and all the deep void and deep.
Yeah, but that's just going into the Dibumbra, right? So it's just all space.
Anyway, before we get too engrossed, before we get too carried away, thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone's enjoyed this nightmare episode.
Which actually is now longer than our regular episodes because
yup,
we are good at time management.
I mean, it's only almost 3 hours long.
It's the same as
look,
not the same as a regular episode.
No, our regular episodes are 2 hours plus a half-hour after show.
Yep. Anyway, so thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to watch our show, we are live every Sunday at 2 p.m. BST on twitch.tv /The Explorers League. I know words. If you would like to support us on Patreon, we are the Explorers. Patreon.com /The Explorers League. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we are at League Explorers. And we do have a Discord, which is linked in the YouTube video down below.
If you just want to sort of support us without like money or anything, you can also just share this and
there's
have
that
other
too,
people see it so that we can get numbers up.
Hit the like button.
Click the little like button.
This is a YouTube video. Yeah, you can comment. You can subscribe.
Please help us make the algorithm go burr.
Yeah.
do the internet things.
Yes.
Do the YouTuber thing that all of them ask.
Summon the algorithm, make it go burr and such.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks for watching. We're ending the recording now.
We're quite tired.
Bye. Happy birthday.